All right, testing, testing. All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thanks so much for taking the time out of your day to join me today and every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on the G.A.R Capital YouTube channel. We just posted a video yesterday, a video to watch before the market opened, kind of like a setting you up for the week and what we're watching for continuing moving forward. Talked about the pillars of the economy, JPM Quant's Kolonovich call, the S&P 500 technicals, all important stuff. So I highly suggest you take a look at that. That was the video we had prior. Link of it is on our stories on Instagram. Feel free to take a look at that. Again, good morning. Let's go ahead and get started. Dow futures up 28 points. We're up a lot higher this morning. NASDAQ up 0.21%. S&P up 0.17%. Again, off the highs of the day. Russell 2000 futures up 0.18%. Also off the highs of the day. Crude oil is up 0.79%. Gasoline, $3.79 gallon on futures, 0.32%. Crude oil is at 108.49. Excuse me. Gold futures are up even after that Russian sanction against Russian gold. They're up 0.12%. Silver up 1%, 21.34 an ounce, 18.32 an ounce for gold. Let's take a look at the 10-year yield, 3.194. Bonds getting sold off a little bit. Maybe that's where we're getting a little bit of a sideways move on equities right now. Do have a gap to fill on yields. Again, 32.94. Again, we could fill that or we could fill this gap down here. Pretty tough to call right now. The dollar is down, so that's going to be helpful to equities as well. And you can see kind of a downward trend as the equity market has been trending up in a short-term time frame. Let's see again if we can get below 103.79 on the dollar index. If that does happen, again, we expect higher upside. Again, 4,000 on the S&P. That's still our target, and I think we get there. So nothing has really changed here. I don't have any really open positions. I have a couple of runners on things, Apple calls from last week, just one contract, IWM for one contract. I don't even have futures open. That's closed. So let's go and see if we can maybe retest 3,000, 3,900, and give us an opportunity to go long. A couple of things too that I did not go over on the video that's pretty important. Let's go into SPX because that was where the 4,000 gap is. We do have a gap to fill to the downside too, guys, at 3804. So again, that eventually has to fill. So if you get a little bit of a pullback here and there, that might be a target if we get some volatility to the downside. Obviously, you're not just going to get one straight shot to 4,000. Not going to be just one green daily candle. That's not going to happen. You're going to have some ebbs and flows. So again, 3805 is a downward gap. Again, I don't think we have downward pressure right now. Obviously, we're green. But again, just keep that in the back of your mind, that that gap fill. But again, our target really is to the top side around 4016. 4,000 is really the gap fill level, but 4016 on SPX is what we're looking for. ES is just the rolling futures. So again, there's no gap there, but SPX, S&P cash index spot, that's where the gap is. So if you've been watching our videos, again, a lot of it was SPX, S&P, just the index itself. Futures is still what I watch all the time. We talk about that 20-day moving average, key level to look at in terms of change of momentum as well in the short term. It was rejected, 39.40. So again, let's see if we can get above that, maybe 39.45. If we do, I would definitely feel more comfortable going long again. I don't mind going long here either. The only thing is I think we can get a better price. So again, 39.45 breaks, then we can ride that to 4,000, kind of squeeze 35 points off that. If anything, we could possibly reject too for a little bit, as we just did on the 20-day. And then we'll probably get back down to either here the 20-day on the hourly, 39.19, or you can get to 38.54 the 50. I highly doubt that. I think 3,900 seems to be that kind of sweet spot for support short term. Again, kind of lines up with that gap fill to the top 38.98. So that could possibly be our next support. If we get to 38.98, I'll start taking a look at for some possible upside calls to play that momentum. Let's go and take a look at the VIX and see if that jives with our long bias. And the VIX so far, it does look good in terms of volatility, index being down, helping stocks go higher. 2741 is the gap fill level. If we can get below 27, that's really going to help stocks. And we'll see if we can continue to the upside. Bitcoin, 21,206 right now on the spot price. 21,170 on the futures. I don't see an updated bid on that. 1209 for Ethereum, but again, that might be incorrect. I don't know why those are down. So let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum on the Bloomberg. Intraday chart on Ethereum is 1213. So it does kind of match. So at least that. I thought maybe there was an issue. 12,170. There you go. Bitcoin is at the spot price 21,205. Ethereum is at 1213. Same thing. Remember, we bought that a couple of weekends ago. If you wanted to see the video, it is on YouTube. Good morning, Clifton. Good morning. Thanks for joining me this morning. In terms of news, you know what? Let's go ahead and switch it up. Let's get to some pre-market quotes. See what's moving, what's shaking. Since there's not a lot of questions. All right, here we go. Let's expand this a little higher. All right, here's what's moving this morning. None of these that I know. Okay, Apple's up 0.5% this morning. That's going to help my runners. Nike's up this morning, 0.33%. Cisco down. Amgen is down. Boeing is down 0.61%. Microsoft up 0.16%. We talked about that last video. We're going to focus on the beaten down names. What are beaten down? Technology, consumer cyclicals or discretionary, and communication services. So the ones that have been down lately, those are the ones I want to ride to the upside. AMD, we talked about. They're up 0.54%. Tesla's up 1.5%. Amazon flat. Under Armour up 0.48%. Carnival down 0.55%. And in the NASDAQ, we also have Marvell's up 0.27%. JD.com 4.5%. That's going to help Alibaba too. I still own those. And NVIDIA's up nearly 1% this morning. So we talked about that already, that you want to kind of stick to the consumer cyclicals. Again, if you're trading, cyclicals, technology, and communication services. If you want to take a look at the heat map, you can do that anytime on FinViz or even on TOS if you wanted. But you could just type in, you can Google and heat map and it'll just come up. So again, Microsoft, Apple, technology right here, communication services, cyclicals. That's what I'm focused on for like quick turnaround, just call options. That's it. Does it mean I want to go ahead and buy stock here? No. I'm still buying SpyG every week, but other than that, not a real big position or starting to get into anything out of the norm. The last one I did was Bitcoin and Ethereum. Good morning, Carlos. Thoughts on Apple calls this week? All right, let's go ahead and chart it together. Apple. And Apple's looking very solid. We do have a downside gap. Really the level I'm looking for, if we can break 143.39, I'd probably play those 145 calls if we can continue higher on Apple. Let's see, thoughts on calls for AMD. AMD and Apple, both are ones that we talked about on video. Thank you guys for watching. You guys understand. We do have a gap to fill right at 90. So I do like it. We just filled this gap here. Let's see if we can hold up a little higher. Maybe we can get above 88 or maybe, yeah, just right around $88. If we can get to $88, I'm going to see if we can get to that gap fill here of around 90. I think 90 would be a good target for us on AMD. Probably be the one with the most volume, pretty much. There's also a gap to fill right here around 94.55. So we got some moves to the upside expected for AMD. Let's look at Caterpillar. Yeah, look at all this. And I own the stock, obviously. The things that we got rotated out of value into growth. Technology, communication services, and cyclicals got all the love. While some value names like banks finally got some love, but again, Caterpillar being a value name, value being more cash flow, dividends, industrials, materials, energy, those type of names, they were taking a hit last week because it was just rotated out. There's a gap to fill 196. If you break here, 188.65. If you expect Caterpillar to bounce, that's the level you're looking for. If you're looking to go more downside action on Caterpillar, break below 184.53. There's a gap to fill in the hourly below, right at 178.83. The question is, do we have the volume? Thoughts on gold? Gold is fine. I mean, gold, just don't expect much. I mean, it's just a hedge pretty much against your assets. You know, it's very, very stable. At least that's what it's meant for. in comparison to other assets. I own some gold. It's boring. It's in my safe. I mean, trading gold sucks with options, but with futures, it's worth a shot. But other than that, nothing special out of it. Tesla. Let's see. Tesla, I did talk about on video. Break 754.05. I take a look at those 800 calls. Chad's asking, I recall you mentioning mortgage rates last week. Wouldn't mortgage rates continue to rise for the remainder of the year due to Fed hikes? No. Remember, what adjusts the mortgage rates? It's a 10-year yield. The 10-year yield is what determines the mortgage rates. And then the second thing is mortgage-backed securities. If the Fed, is not going to sell mortgage-backed securities, and mortgage-backed securities are still, like, let's just say, in demand in Wall Street among traders, then you're going to have lower rates. If they're not in demand, then rates are going to go higher. That's basically how it goes down in terms of mortgage rates. But the 10-year is your guide, not the Fed funds rate. Because the Fed funds rate can be just up 0.5%, but the 10-year can soar a lot higher than that. Same thing, or in vice versa with cuts. You're welcome, Clifton. Can you explain why the gaps always fill and know when they fill? You won't know when they fill, but again, the rule of thumb is about 80 to 85% of gaps always fill. That's just kind of the rule of thumb. Does it always fill? No, there's no such thing as always. I can't be absolute in the market either. So really, the gaps are just a sense as a guide. Doesn't mean that it'll fill because I say so or someone else says so. It's really the market. Again, it's just giving us a guide to where we're going to go. That's it. And sometimes it don't fill. If I could be honest, it doesn't. It takes years to fill. With the release of Jack Daniel's Coke coming soon, I'll be buying some more shares of KO. There you go. That actually is one of my favorite drinks, Jack and Coke. Now it's in a little can. I gotta try that thing. Hopefully, it's pretty good. But I can't say I'm a big drinker anymore, to be honest. But I'll partake in some whiskey here and there. This is coffee, I swear. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your afternoon and day. I'll catch you guys for the aftermarket recap at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys soon. Have a great rest of your trading day. And our members, I'll catch you on the G.A.R Capital Discord blog. Cheers.